Live, local, late breaking. This is Newswatch 12 this morning.
Good morning. The time is 6:30 on January 22nd. Welcome to Newswatch 12 this morning. I'm Carlos Murrieta. Right now we're taking a live look out at Ashland from the Oregon Shakespeare Festival. And right now we first want to turn over to Storm Alert Weather 12 meteorologist Sarah Kress for a look at our Thursdays. And Sarah, how are things looking outside as we're heading out this morning?
Well, it is going to be rather cold for most of us. We are tracking an area of low pressure that did bring some changes to the region yesterday. That was increased cloud coverage. But besides that, things still stayed dry. We didn't really see winds pick up at all. But noticing now, we're going to start to see that low pressure shift its way south and eastward, and it's going to take those clouds along with it. Already seeing mainly clear skies for most of the region. Those clouds continuing to move their way south. So for this morning, we're starting off rather cold. 24 for Medford right now. Klamath Falls, you're at 20. Grants Pass at 32. And Wairika as well. And you'll notice in the Grants Pass area waking up again with more of that fog. And we'll see that improve as we go later into your day, mainly by midday. But we're even seeing some fog development into Medford, also into the Montague area, into the Shasta Valley. So patchy areas of that freezing fog are expected this morning, where maybe we haven't seen them in the past few days for some. That freezing fog advisory is in place until noon today for the Grants Pass in Illinois Valley. Now, in terms of your high temperatures, it's still expected to be rather mild into your afternoon. Grants Pass even today expected to warm up a little bit more, made it into the upper 40s yesterday. So rather nice if you're looking to head outdoors. We're going to start to see clouds increase again as we switch over into those overnight hours. We do have a dry cold front moving through into those overnight hours, but really not going to bring too much of a difference as we start off our night. But heading into tomorrow, we do have some subtle changes to your forecast. I'll go into a bit more details of what we could see into your Friday and starting your weekend, and a closer look at when we could possibly see some rain return, all coming up in just a bit. Carlos?
Thank you, Sarah. Beginning our morning with an update, city leaders and residents gathered for the annual town hall as residents had the chance to hear directly from city leadership about what's been accomplished and what's coming next. Around 100 community members attended the event to hear Mayor Tanya Graham reflect on the city's progress in emergency management, public works, community development, and efforts to make the city budget policies more accessible to residents.
We implemented the online budget book to make it easier for residents to understand the budget, and received the Government Finance Officers Association Award for Best Practices in Budgeting for the 33rd time.
Following the recap of last year, Mayor Graham outlined planning efforts and key initiatives for 2026. One of the priorities highlighted was the condition of city-owned buildings, many of which were identified as being in critical need of repair in a recent facilities management plan.
Most of our city operations are housed in a variety of different places across the city, and a serious backlog of deferred maintenance requires us to have this conversation in tandem with the strategic planning process. It is really important that we make smart decisions as we go forward, so doing both the planning and determining how our facilities are going to be used is going to be a very important part of the work this year.
Residents were also encouraged to engage with city leaders directly, both before and after the event, to share comments and concerns through an online forum, part of an ongoing effort to make local government more transparent and participatory. The city of Medford has passed an ordinance approving a contract of a little more than $1 million for ADA ramp improvements. The ordinance passed 7-1 as a contract with Browning Contracting Inc. is for $1,761,000, which will all be going towards ADA ramps improvements along city streets. They're all slated for asphalt overlays this year. And continuing our coverage of Oregon's gas tax debate, Governor Tina Kotek is weighing in after Democratic lawmakers announced plans to move the vote on the transportation tax package to the May primary. Governor Tina Kotek released a statement saying the legislature and the Constitution will determine how and when repeal occurs. My responsibility remains the same: keep our roads safe, our economy moving, and help deliver a bipartisan long-term transportation solution. The transportation tax package passed last summer, but it was paused after a referendum qualified it for the ballot. Democratic lawmakers, including Senate President Rob Wagner and House Speaker Julie Fahey, issued news releases announcing plans to move the vote from November to the May primary, aiming to provide faster clarity on funding and budget planning. Republicans have criticized the move, saying the vote should stay in November. And a man pardoned by President Trump for taking part in the January 6th insurrection at the U.S. Capitol is running for governor of Oregon. Republican David Medina announced his candidacy this week, and in 2021, the Sherwood man was arrested on charges which he pleaded not guilty to. Those included one felony charge and several misdemeanors. Since then, he's grown an online following. And Representative Cliff Benz spoke before the Energy and Commerce Committee, emphasizing the need for the FIRE Act. House Bill 6387, also known as the FIRE Act, aims to update the Clean Air Act so states are not penalized for smoke from wildfires or prescribed burns. The bill also cuts regulatory hurdles for manufacturers and communities and rewards efforts to reduce wildfire risk and improve air quality.
This bill would at least give us the foundation to start reducing wildfire risk while avoiding the lawsuits that are then.
Benz also said this bill will directly help states like Oregon, California, and Washington, who all have large acres of forest. And the start of tax season is less than a week away, and the Oregon Department of Revenue is reminding Oregonians of extra cash after filing 2025 tax returns. The Department of Revenue says there's a surplus of more than $1.4 billion from the 2023-2025 budget. Only those who filed returns in 2024 and 2025 can receive a kicker, which will be a percentage of your 2024 personal income tax liability. E-filed taxes will be processed sooner than paper-filed returns. And while warmer temperatures have forced many ski resorts to pause operations, Mount Shasta Ski Park remains open. The resort is relying on snowmaking machines to keep the slopes running. Now, this helps them get by, but doesn't fully solve the ongoing lack of natural snowfall. The ski park began snowmaking in early January, allowing crews to build a solid base. Grace Hornbeek, the ski park's marketing director, says starting snowmaking early is what helped them make it this far in the season.
We actually kind of pile it up and almost have a snow storage on hill. So as we've been getting warmer and having like melt out spots, our team is able to push those pre-existing piles of snow around to help patch some of those holes.
Through this weekend, cooler temperatures are forecasted. Grace says they will take advantage of this and are planning to make more snow. Into a scam alert, the city of Klamath Falls, along with the sheriff's office, is warning residents of an ongoing scam. According to a news release, callers are impersonating the sheriff's office and making urgent, threatening claims. The city of Klamath Falls and the police department will never call to threaten arrest, request bail money, or demand payment. Scammers often use spoofed phone numbers and high-pressure tactics to make calls that sound real. If a call feels rushed or threatening, that's a sign of a scam call, and you should immediately hang up. And new this morning, when someone escapes domestic violence, safety comes first, and after that, needs can quickly add up. So let's bring in Newswatch 12 Danny Spanovich to explain how a confidential community closet is helping survivors find support. Danny?
Thanks, Carlos. For many survivors of domestic violence, the hardest step is leaving the situation. Sometimes that means walking away with what they can carry. But inside this small community closet, one local volunteer is helping survivors replace what they lost.
The priority thing is figuring out where you're going to stay the night. Try to figure something out, and make sure that your kids are going to be okay and not be out in the cold.
Free community closets like this one help fill the gap.
I am a domestic violence survivor myself. I started it basically create a stepping stone to refer people to organizations that we already have here in the area for support.
Brianna's passion project is packed with clothing and shoes filling the racks, including essentials, free, no questions asked.
A lot of people in the community were afraid to reach out to organizations. It gives me the opportunity not just to get them some clothes, but get them in touch with more resources.
And in a confidential purple space.
I just felt a great relief of stress, like just because of the fact that, you know, we didn't have too much clothing or anything like that.
The closet offers interview clothes, everyday wear, children's and hygiene items, all donated by the community.
And I just want people to know that there's help out there and that there's hope.
For safety reasons, the closet's location is kept confidential. However, those in need or those interested in donating can find information on how to get in contact with Brianna at kdrv.com. In studio, Danny Stepanovich.
Thank you, Danny. The Road Gateway Rotary Club is donating 164 winter-ready shoes for youth in the Illinois Valley. Free shoes will be provided to club members at the Illinois Valley Boys and Girls Club in Kirby this afternoon. The Boys and Girls Club says access to quality shoes is a necessity that can be a challenge for many families in the Illinois Valley. The CEO of Boys and Girls Clubs of the Rogue Valley says it's a simple item that can make a huge difference for kids.